Well, good damn afternoon, Los Americanos. Jericho Green, I'm here with you once again. Now, before we get to the good stuff, let's handle some business, as they say. Now, to look at the banks, you think there was nothing wrong. But look under the hood, and it's a mess. Everyone's getting itchy feet. Commercial property, car loans, credit cards are all at all-time highs. Why chance it for a 3% return? Get Noble Gold Investments on your side. So even if the banks crash again, you'll be okay. They'll talk to you about keeping safe with the precious metals. Their experts are waiting right now to offer you a free quarter-ounce gold standard coin if you qualify. Act now before it's too late. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com, noblegoldinvestments.com, the only gold company that I trust. And remember, people, there's always a risk of investing, and there's no guarantee of any kind. I was going to say that and then got a little air bubble. What do you want me to do here? So hopefully you've heard about this, but if not, I'm about to blow your mind. Tucker Carlson, the Tucker Carlson, formerly of CNN and formerly of Fox News. He's on his own, doing his thing. Didn't miss a beat. Some people might have thought, Tucker Carlson getting fired from Fox News. He is Fox News. Is he going to land on his feet? Shit, he landed on his feet and everybody else's feet. Huge on X. And he did an interview with Vladimir Putin. Can't talk to that guy. He's an evil dictator, and he's trying to overrun and conquer the country of Ukraine, which we've been hemorrhaging billions of dollars to for almost 2 years. And I think, have we hit 2 years? Yay, happy 2-year anniversary, Ukraine. Mwah. Anyway, so he had a clip, and I'll find that and I'll put the link. Actually, hold on. I find that bitch right now, because he had this clip where he talks about why he sat down with Putin. And part of it, did he know it's going to be hugely successful and he's going to get a shitload of views and attention? Well, of course. That's what he does. That's why he has a platform. But I think I believe everything that he's saying, because one thing that we can do as humans, being around humans our entire human life, is we usually know when somebody's bullshitting. We all have pretty good BS meters, and if it's not that good, it's because you don't want it to be. You're in denial. But everything he says, who would have a problem with it? Who would have a problem with a journalist sitting down with half of the armed forces involved in a war? We know about Putin. Zelensky, the little junkie. We know about him. We've had a slew of celebrities and dignitaries and heads of state parade over there and do whatever weird shit they're doing. He's been over here a few times to, earn his money. So we're familiar with that, but not too familiar with Putin. And when you see how he's treated by the mainstream mediocres, who are now the lapdog of the left and the Democrat government, the Democrat Party, I've often said the watchdog has become the lapdog. So now they used to be the guard dog for us. They used to be patrolling DC, looking for wrongdoing and reporting to us every night at 5. But somewhere along the way, they started working with the people they're supposed to be guarding and protecting. So now our guard dog is now their lap dog. Now the Democrat Party is smearing Skippy peanut butter all over their asshole, and here comes the mainstream mediocre to lick that shit up, Scooby-Doo style. So they're all against Putin. You have all these talking heads. Hillary Clinton, she's against Tucker Carlson. Oh, he's a useful idiot. He's working for the Kremlin. So if she's on one side of an issue, you need to be on the other side. You have some European countries talking about leveling sanctions against Tucker Carlson. You can't come here. Man, fuck you. All right? European countries. You think Tucker Carlson gives a shit if he can't come to your sorry ass little shit stain on the map? If it wasn't for the country that Tucker Carlson hails from, you'd probably all be clanging beer steins together, waiting for the bratwurst, yeah? How do you like your bratwurst? And before I feed you the bratwurst, let me see your papers. Please. Tucker Carlson gives a half a shit about some bullshit European country leveling sanctions. You guys can't even get dictators, cruel murderers around the world to pay attention to your sanctions. Man, please. As my brother used to say when we were kids. We're going to level sanctions. Oh, not a sanction. You know, you're little kids, you'd always, before you get in bed, you check under your bed for sanctions. Dad, come in here. I heard something in my closet. I think it's a sanction. Anyway, here's Tucker Carlson explaining why he sat down with Putin. And again, no matter what side of the aisle that you're on politically or whatever, what's wrong with what he's saying? As Americans, don't you want to be fully informed about where your money and possibly your young people's blood could be going one day if these clowns get their way? Get us bogged down on two wars on two different fronts. We can be in two wars and pay for three. So here we go, Tucker. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man.
We're at home. We're in Moscow tonight.
Tucker Carlson just landed a big exclusive interview.
Hold on. I thought this was just Tucker talking. I just want to hear Tucker talk.
Journalists are blasting him for claiming no one else asked Putin for an interview.
Not a single Western journalist has bothered to interview the president of the other country involved in this conflict, Vladimir Putin.
Okay, hold on. This was not a good pick because I thought it was just going to be him. I was bamboozled. It's Black History Month. None of this is my fault. Somehow it's the white people's fault. You hear that, white people out there watching this? You are the reason that I picked the wrong video. And that's just the truth. That's just the truth. I am blame free until March. Maybe this is it right here. I'll find it because I really want you guys to see this. And I really want to hear it again. Okay. Oh, here we go. This is Tucker. What would you like us to hear you say, Tucker? Okay, here we go. The video that I wanted you to see. Tucker explaining himself quite concisely.
We're in Moscow tonight. We're here to interview the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin. We'll be doing that soon. There are risks to conducting an interview like this, obviously. So we thought about it carefully over many months. Here's why we're doing it. First, because it's our job. We're in journalism. Our duty is to inform people. 2 years into a war that's reshaping the entire world, most Americans are not informed. They have no real idea what's happening in this region, here in Russia or 600 miles away in Ukraine. But they should know. They're paying for much of it in ways they might not fully yet perceive. The war in Ukraine is a human disaster. It's left hundreds of thousands of people dead, an entire generation of young Ukrainians, and it's depopulated the largest country in Europe. But the long-term effects are even more profound. This war has utterly reshaped the global military and trade alliances, and the sanctions that followed have as well. And in total, they have upended the world economy. The post-World War II economic order, the system that guaranteed prosperity in the West for more than 80 years, is coming apart very fast, and along with it, the dominance of the US dollar. These are not small changes. They are history-altering developments. They will define the lives of our grandchildren. Most of the world understands this perfectly well. They can see it. Ask anyone in Asia or the Middle East what the future looks like. And yet the populations of the English-speaking countries seem mostly unaware. They think that as nothing has really changed. And they think that because no one has told them the truth. Their media outlets are corrupt. They lie to their readers and viewers. And they do that mostly by omission. For example, since the day the war in Ukraine began, American media outlets have spoken to scores of people from Ukraine, and they've done scores of interviews with Ukrainian President Zelensky. We ourselves have put in a request for an interview with Zelensky, and we hope he accepts. But the interviews he's already done in the United States are not traditional interviews. They are fawning pep sessions specifically designed to amplify Zelensky's demand that the U.S. enter more deeply into a war in Eastern Europe and pay for it. That is not journalism. It is government propaganda. Propaganda of the ugliest kind, the kind that kills people. At the same time, our politicians and media outlets have been doing this.
And you guys remember last year, they made Zelensky Man of the Year. Was it Time Magazine or something? Man of the Year. But not a word about the other guy. Okay.
Promoting a foreign leader like he's a new consumer brand, not a single Western journalist has bothered to interview the president of the other country involved in this conflict, Vladimir Putin. Most Americans have no idea why Putin invaded Ukraine or what his goals are now. They've never heard his voice. That's wrong. Americans have a right to know all they can about a war they're implicated in.
And that's true, because Sloppy Joe, all he does is just says he's a bad dude. He's bad. The Russian Putin and the Putin and the Trump and the MAGA, ultra MAGA Putin, Trump MAGA, Vladimir Putin, ultra Putin.
The right to tell them about it because we are Americans too. Freedom of speech is our birthright. We were born with the right to say what we believe. That right cannot be taken away no matter who is in the White House. But they're trying anyway. Almost 3 years ago, the Biden administration illegally spied on our text messages and then leaked the contents to their servants in the news media. They did this in order to stop a Putin interview that we were planning. Last month, we're pretty certain they did exactly the same thing once again. But this time, we came to Moscow anyway. We are not here because we love Vladimir Putin. We are here because we love the United States, and we want it to remain prosperous and free. We paid for this trip ourselves. We took no money from any government or group, nor are we charging people to see the interview. It is not behind a paywall. Anyone can watch the entire thing, shot live to tape and unedited, on our website, tuckercarlson.com. Elon Musk, to his great credit, has promised not to suppress or block this interview once we post it on his platform, X, and we're grateful for that. Western governments, by contrast, will certainly do their best to censor this video on other less principled platforms because that's what they do. They are afraid of information they can't control. But you have no reason to be afraid of it. We are not encouraging you to agree with what Putin may say in this interview, but we are urging you to watch it. You should know as much as you can. And then, like a free citizen and not a slave, you can decide for yourself. Thanks.
Well, that's not good. That grill's all fucked up. Wow. Not sure why anybody would have a problem with that. What's wrong with sitting down with Vladimir Putin? There have been other leaders around the world, dictators and others, who are the bad guys, and journalists, the big names, they've sat down with them and interviewed them. So why is this so different? Why is this so crazy? And he's right. They are going to suppress it. They're going to try to suppress it. They're going to talk shit about it on all their paid media outlets, the MSNBCs and the CNNs and the Hill and the Politico and the HuffPo, and which one does what's his name, Bezos? What's the Washington Post? All that shit. They're going to, if they don't censor it, whatever they give you, they're going to try to twist it and sound bites and direct the narrative and make you think one thing. But we should see it. And I have a feeling we are going to learn some things that we had no idea about. We are going to have some of the things that we believed shattered. And that's good. They want change. Here it comes. They want you to be progressive. We're going to progress toward the truth. And I want to hear from Putin why he did that. And I don't think Tucker Carlson, it's not going to be one of those interviews that he described that they give Zelensky where somebody's probably off camera rubbing his feet and giving him a hand job. He's going to ask him some hard-hitting questions, and he's going to ask him questions that the American people have, that he's been hearing on his X feed and hearing from people in the streets. And we want to know this. I think he's going to take those questions to Putin, and he's going to ask them in a very nonpartisan, down the middle, 50-50, I'm just here to be a journalist kind of way. So I'm excited to see it. I'm going to go today and look on tuckercarlson.com to see if I can, well, I'm sure I'll be able to find it, but I'm going to try to carve out some time to watch it and watch the whole thing and hear what Putin has to say. And I'll be back here to tell you what I think of the interview and what I think of what Putin had to say. But I just wonder why. Well, no, I don't. I know why. You know why. Why have any of the other journalists and outlets gone to talk to Putin when they've been falling over themselves to have an orgy with Zelensky? And they probably have. I'm sure there's a lot of upside down pineapples when Zelensky comes to town. But we're just hearing one thing about one side. And as I said before, if Hillary Clinton's on one side, it is in your best interest to get the fuck over to the other side. And if she's down talking this and she's admonishing this interview and Putin is a bad guy and Tucker Carlson, he's working for them and useful idiot and all that stuff, then I almost believe the interview before I even see it. Hillary Clinton is evil. All of her clothes are custom because they have to cut slits in the back so her wings will be comfortable. She doesn't want to be in a jacket, real constrictive. Her veiny skin, scrotum sack skin-like wings. They need room so they cannot fully unfurl. She doesn't want to fly away from the interview yet. But when she's sitting there spewing this nonsense and these lies and this evil rhetoric, she does want to be comfortable. So they cut little slits in the back just so her wing, because she doesn't only use those wings to fly around and snatch up unattended children to gorge on their life fluid, but she also wraps herself in those wings cocoon style to sleep. So those wings are very important to her. It's important for her to be comfortable when she's sitting there for these 2-hour long interviews that are full of shit. So if you guys have seen it already, let me know what you think in the comments, what you thought of it. Let me know what you think of what Tucker Carlson said. Do you believe him? I have no reason not to. That's a very down the middle kind of way to approach it. Hey, I'm bringing you the truth. Okay, thank you. That shit's hard to come by. So I'm all for it. Yes, I'm a Tucker Carlson fan. But I don't think, even when he was on Fox News, I didn't know anything about him back when he was on CNN. But the fact that he was on CNN at one point lets you know how far CNN has fallen. But even when he was on Fox News, he was the only show that I would watch, one of the 1 or 2 shows that I would watch on there. But he was always truthful and upfront, and there was no hidden agenda. It's just, here's what happened, here's what I think, here's the question. Boom. So I think we'll get more of the same, more of what makes people a fan of Tucker, more of what's going to make this probably the most viewed interview on fucking internet. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Utilize the Linktree link. Get your ass in that description section. Hit the link to my new YouTube channel, Green's House. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.